Alan Wallace was raised a Christian in Pasadena, California, but something in him simply couldn't find a comfortable place in his world. As a young adult, he headed for India, not surprisingly, learned to speak Tibetan with ease, and became a student of the Dalai Lama, a relationship that has lasted 37 years. During his years of deep seclusion and meditation, Alan began writing on the essential truths about happiness, including the Buddhist belief that we are not entitled to happiness.
Well, the very notion of a right, this is very theistic. I mean, it's coming out of our civilization, that's one of our babies, and it is a notion of a kind of a God-given right. You know? I mean, it's right there in the Constitution, whether they were Christian or whether they were deists, as in Thomas Jefferson and so forth. Nevertheless, that we were so created, bear in mind this is before Darwin ever came along, that we human beings were so created that we have certain rights, God-given rights. That phrase kind of rings a bell, doesn't it? And so, and God designed the whole shebang. This is His baby. He created us in it, and He imbued us with certain rights, and also, thou shalt and thou shalt not. And if you behave, I'll reward you, and if you don't, well, I'm going to punish you. So there it is. I mean, that's core to the Abrahamic religions, all of them. Buddhism doesn't even start there, and never goes there. Buddhism says, you know, not in the beginning God created the earth, the heavens and earth, but rather there is suffering. Take a look at it. That doesn't make any allusion to God at all, and it doesn't also make any allusion to past lives or metaphysical issues. There it is. So it brings us back to experience, rather than taking us out of experience into some dogma. And frankly, I think that's what materialism does. Here we are, as you said earlier, that our experience is 100% subjective.
Right.
100% subjective. And now, but I am not really as I appear to as a human being and so forth. Well, really all that's here is a brain. All that's here is brain chemistry, and all that, you know, and so now I'm inviting you to come out of your experience to me as a human being with your own subjective impressions and so forth, and say, well, no, if you really want to know about me, just do some brain scans, and take my blood type and brain chemistry and how much EEG, you know, it's taking you out of experience. And this whole physical world, this is what I find so ironic, is that this whole physical world, which is, you know, the ultimate thing, what is the only thing that's really real for the materialist, we've never actually seen it directly. Because as I'm gazing over at your form here, what I'm getting, of course, is visual impressions. If I should touch you, I'll just touch the paper, but it'd be something like that. I'm getting tactile impressions, right? I hear your voice, but that's an auditory impression. But these are called qualia. These are the immediate contents of experience. They're not made out of matter. The colors that I see, not made out of molecules or atoms. They're not made out of fields or particles.
They're still perceptions.
No, and so this whole physical world, that everything's boiled down to the physical, it is as metaphysical as somebody who believing everything is the will of God. But by the way, you never see God, right? This is everything boils down to matter, except for, by the way, you never see matter. Because all you ever see are the data produced by your systems of measurement, and they have to be measured, and sooner or later, the buck has to come back here. It has to be in terms of your own first-person experience, and first-person experience is not material. So it's really quite wonderful, you know, that what they believe in so passionately is as invisible to them as God is to the devout religious believer. And Buddhism says neither the twixt nor the twain. We're not going to load the whole burden of reality on some invisible God, nor will we load the whole burden of reality on some invisible physical world, by the way we define physical, but rather just come back to experience.
This is a deep and personal look at the tenets of what makes for a beautiful life experience. For the entire interview, go to consciousmedianetwork.com. Thank you.